She had that look in her eyes. You knew she was the only one to shoot it. She stopped right here, rose, and fired.
Look, I know it was almost a month ago, but don't you miss hockey already?
She says she can school me. I tend to believe her, but I want to try and find out for myself. Here we go. Good move.
Vanderbilt head football coach Derek Mason has suspended 3 players, including Northside alum Tay Daly, for their alleged involvement in a shooting that happened Monday night in Nashville. But the more sports you play, the more muscles you're using, so in turn you're becoming a better athlete. Or
tomorrow, Allison will tell me what time we're leaving, what time we'll get there, where I'm sitting.
He knows when to defer to his wife, and that's the mark of a good man.
Well, Raymond, we received this report today from the Auburn Department of Public Safety charging 8 teenagers from the Wilkinson County area with first-degree theft of property.
All right, this doesn't look very fun, but trust me, the more you do this, the better results you're going to have on the baseball field.
It wasn't the result they wanted or the result they expected, but bottom line, Mercer football took a major step forward today. What's next? That remains to be seen. In Auburn, Alabama, Luke Hetrick, WGXA Sports.
It doesn't come down to the skill. It comes down to who wants it more and who has more in the gas tank to go the long way.
Don't be mistaken. There's a lot more to Chase Boutwell's game.
Very technical.
Heart and drive.
Work ethic.
Naturally gifted.
If you ask the amateur MMA star what separates him,
Man, every time I step in the octagon, I'm the toughest guy in the octagon.
not only does he have the heart, he owns that it factor.
He's willing to do everything that nobody wants to do during the fight.
That never-quit attitude and hard work led Chase to becoming the youngest UMMAF amateur champion.
Win it was even better, man. I can't explain the feeling.
We're on the right slope, going in the right direction, on the right mountain.
As he works, his inspiration sits ringside.
I'm so nervous. Half the time it looks like I'm playing an instrument.
Every time I've been dropped, I think about my mom, and quitting's never entered her mind.
Because Mom is enduring her own fight.
I've had MS since I was 24 years old.
To see her go through that battle, it's tough, but she's a fighter just like he is.
Through her battle with multiple sclerosis, her toughness is passed on.
She can go through MS and having 8 brain surgeries. I can definitely go through, fight through whatever I'm going through.
And that motivation packs a powerful punch.
That flame that he has and the drive that he has, that he kind of carries from home to here, I don't think it'll ever burn out.
With his arm raised symbolizing his victory, the Boutwells became winners in more ways than one.
It's the one moment my mom, she doesn't have MS, she doesn't have hydrocephalus. Everything was perfect, man, and I'm glad I could bring that moment to my parents, to me, and anybody else who's cheering for me.
Thursday afternoon was a typical practice for the Peach County Trojans.
Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will go with you wherever you go.
At least that's the game plan for the Trojans, but this week was one they weren't anticipating.
It was a tough couple of days, but I think for the most part since then they've been focused at least for a few hours a day.
Garnering the Trojan spirit is the loss of teammate Raekwon Smith, who was killed in a car accident last Saturday night in Byron. He may not be on the field, but he's showing his Peach County pride up above.
Raekwon's looking down on us, and he's looking for some big things for us to do on Friday night, and that's what we're going to try to do.
This week, the memories turn to motivation as Peach County hosts Houston County Friday night in their season opener. It's a tall order for the Trojans, but they're rising to the challenge.
Go against the #1 team in 6A, just knowing who they are and what they have is a good challenge really to start off the season.
Hoco may have the big names, but the Trojans come into Friday night with a ton of confidence and plenty of swagger.
We knew this was a big game, and we knew that we had the talent to beat them. So right now, we're pretty confident coming into this game.
Though the focus of the week has been on the Bears, it's hard to forget about the beloved teammate that is so dearly missed.
Everybody loved to see all the time Raekwon, and so that's what I remember, and that's the last memories I got, and so.
The Atlanta Braves are 2-12 this season against the Philadelphia Phillies, and I have no clue how it's possible. You're thinking, okay, they play poorly against one team, no big deal. Think about it this way. 25% of the Phillies' wins, who happen to be the worst team in baseball, have come against the Braves. That's not something Freddie Freeman and company are too happy about. Fred says, let's just go ahead and change that. Bottom one, he's taking Jared Eichhoff for a ride. This thing is going to carry all the way up into the second level. Freeman's 23rd dinger of the year. He knew this was out from the start. All over it like me on a Kit Kat bar. Braves up 2-zip. Phillies aren't getting a break. Top three, Nick Markakis goes oppo into the gap. A run scores and the Braves jump out to an 8-zip lead. They're going to roll in game one, 9-1 over the Phils. Can we make it 2 in a row? Nightcap of that twin bill. Braves rocking the blue jerseys. Also rocking David Freitas behind the plate. The rookie, first Major League AB. Shoots one into the gap. That's going to score a run. He's putting that ball in the den one day. Braves grabbing a 2-1 lead in the fourth. Man of this series, no doubt, Ender Inciarte. 8 for 10, 5 ribbies on the day, including this one right here. Inciarte in game one, 5 for 5, 3 more hits in the second half. Braves celebrate hump day with 2 wins against the Phillies. They win game 2, 5-2. Now, the last few major stories for Georgia Tech football haven't been so much about the game itself. A new deal with Adidas and the dismissal of Dedrick Mills has taken our attention away from one major storyline. Tech has no clue who their quarterback is going to be. 5 days out from the Yellow Jackets season opener against Tennessee, Paul Johnson yet to name his starter. Now all offseason, 4 quarterbacks, Matthew Jordan, Taquan Marshall, Lucas Johnson, and Jay Jones have vied for that starting job. So when does Paul Johnson plan on naming one of them the starter?
Our guys know who's going to play, and I probably know who's going to play. I might send it out on Twitter here in a day or two. Who knows?
Highly unlikely he releases it on Twitter. Tech and Tennessee kick off Labor Day night at 8 o'clock in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. To the U.S. Open in New York, Wimbledon champ Roger Federer getting play started against Francis Tiafoe. You're thinking, all right, cakewalk. You thought wrong. Tiafoe pushes it to a 5th set on a wimpy Federer return. Federer had a commanding lead in set 5. Tiafoe not going anywhere. Beautiful return makes it 5-4 in the 5th. He is still alive. But in that final game, Federer just too much for Tiafoe. Return into the net. Not as easy as he would have liked it, but Federer is moving on with a 4-6, 6-2, 6-1, 1-6, 6-4 victory. More men's singles opening round action. John Isner, an absolute mountain of a man. He's 6'10", but he is nimble like a kitten. Easy day for Isner taking on Heon Chung. First set he takes at 6'3". Not only is he tall, but he's got a massive wingspan. Check this out. Set one up high, and he is going to crush it home. Isner takes the first 2 sets with ease, and when he gets that serve going, get out the way. Ace for the match in the 10th seed onto the second round with a straight sets win over Heon Chung, guys.